Hello and welcome. This is Columbia Basin Research's fifth video in a multi-part series on using Program Atlas, which stands for Active Tag Life Adjusted Survival. Atlas is a program created by Columbia Basin Research at the University of Washington School of Aquatic and Fisheries Sciences with funding provided by the Bonneville Power Administration and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Today, I'm going to show you how to load in and work through paired and virtual paired release study designs. If you have not run through lessons 1 through 3 detailing the ins and outs of Program Atlas, working with capture histories, and working with tag life data, we highly recommend you watch those videos before going through this video. First, let's fire up the program. Type Atlas or shortcut to Atlas into the search bar. A paired release study consists of two release groups, an upstream release group labeled R1 and a downstream release group labeled R2. Parameter of interest, S paired, is the ratio of the survival probabilities in first reach for the two release groups. A virtual paired release design is used to estimate the probability of dam passage survival from the dam phase to the tail race. Pick virtual release and hit continue. I'm going to input my virtual release data. Double-click on Load Capture History Data and load in your virtual release history file. I can assign my releases in a paired release to R1 and R2. In a virtual release, I can assign my data to V1, R2, and R3. In this case, I assign R1 to V1, R2 to R2, and R3 to R3. With a virtual paired release study, as with a paired release study, it is important that the timing of the releases be such that the fish from all release groups arrive at the downstream sites at about the same time. If I double-click on the View Mixing dialog, I can view how well that requirement has been met, and also what release timing should be used for future studies. In the box in the lower left corner, I can enter the number of hours the R2 release group was released after the R1 release group in the case of paired releases. In the case of virtual paired releases, like this one here, I can enter the number of hours the R2 and R3 release groups were released after the R1 release. Note here that I'm entering a 24-hour delay between releases to account for release times. The capture history report and the CJS report are available to you in this mode, but please note that for the paired and virtual paired releases, the cumulative CJS report and the CJS covariance report are unavailable. I'm going to skip attributes again. We'll go over those in the final video in the series. I can now load in my tag life data. Click tag life data, load in your tag life data. Click on the Fit Tag Life Curves. You can sort through the various functions to see which best fits your data. Weibull2 doesn't fit very well, and neither does Weibull3. I can try to remove some extreme values that might work better. Sometimes taking off 2 is good. Let's see if it fits Weibull3. No. Let's try vitality. Take off those last 6, and you can see that the vitality curve fits pretty well. Click apply when you're finished. Now, I don't have different lots in this session, so we can skip that. Double click on calculate tag correction table. Enter the number of bootstrapping iterations, 1000 is recommended, and wait for the calculation to proceed. It can take a few minutes. I won't make you wait it out here in this video. Now I can look at my tag life correction table by double clicking on view tag life correction table, where I can see the tag life correction report with the probabilities of detection at each site, and my closed form parameter report here. The cumulative closed form survival report is only available in single release studies. The closed form estimates are based on a fully parameterized model. In the case where some of the downstream survival and/or detection parameters can be equated between release groups, you can use the modeled survival estimates function. Under Modeled Survival Estimates, double-clicking Equate Parameters Across Releases, I can equate capture at and below Site 3 and final product at and below Site 4 as seen here. I can also double-click on Constrained Parameters. Since a1 is considered infinity in the next bootstrapping process, I have to assure I check any 1s found here. Here's one under Capture. Not doing this will cause the next computation to error out. I can now click Compute. Okay. Estimate full variance, 1000 bootstrapping iterations. Okay. Click OK, and look over my parameter report. The overall estimate of dam survival is here, with the 3 survivals that go into that estimate of dam survival here. The survival summary gives you the components. The other 2 reports are only active with single release study designs. This has been lesson 5 on using Program Atlas, in which we worked our way through a virtual paired release and the differences that arise between running a paired release and virtual paired release. Future videos in this series will walk through attributes as well as offering some hints and tips on maximizing your Program Atlas experience. We hope that the video helps you get the most out of Program Atlas. Again, if If you have any questions or comments in regard to Program Atlas, please fill out our survey as previously detailed. You can also contact Columbia Basin Research at web@cbr.washington.edu. Best of luck in your analyses, and thank you.